Alright, what's up guys? Today I'm going to bring you a jungle guide. So this is kind of an unexpected one because I didn't say I was going to do Erlang Shen, but Erlang Shen. Yeah, this is Erlang Shen's jungle guide. So we're going to jump right into it, into his abilities and his passive. So his passive is called Howling Celestial Dog. It's a really, really good passive to me because he is my second favorite god besides Bakasura. So pretty much what it does is that he has this little dog, it sits beside you, and it does 15% of your basic attack power. So it's really, really nice. It does work with items, so it does proc with crins, it does proc with crit and all that other stuff, so it's really really good. I like it. His second ability is Spot Weakness, so this is one of the best boxing items in my personal opinion. It gives you so much damage, so much extra damage, especially against squishy characters. So pretty much it scales from 25, 40, 55, 70 to 85 plus 15% of your physical power. That 85 right there, like you don't even need, like to me personally, you don't even need that much scaling because it just does so much extra damage to squishies. Even with like mages and hunters just like base protections as they level up, it's still gonna hit around 90 or so just because maybe you built a little bit physical power. Um, Especially when you get boots. So it's really, really good. It lasts 5 seconds. The cooldown is 14 seconds, but the cooldown is reduced by hitting basic attacks. His third ability is his pin, so it's kind of his poke slash root slash lockdown. So that scales from 85, 103, 175, 220, 265, plus 55% of your physical power. It does have a duration of 1.3 seconds on the root, so it's really, really good for locking down, and it has a 16-second cooldown. 72 transformations is his third ability. You can either do the turtle or the mink. The turtle goes 75, 25, no, 75, 125, 175, 225, and then 275 plus 40% of your physical power. It also gives a health that scales all the way up to 230 health. The mink, however, does 70, 130, 190, 250, and 310 in damage, and that's 85% of your physical power, so that is clearly the one you want to use when you wave clear. It also gives you attack speed and the Fatalis effect. Um, and I'd say, yeah, it's a really good ability. Nine Turns Blessing is his ultimate, so it's a cone taunt that also heals you for quite a bit. So it does heal you for 15% of your maximum health, plus 450 at the final level. It does give you damage mitigation up to 15%, and up to a taunt of 1.2 seconds. So, jumping right into it, Erlang Shen generally wants to do his standard jungle start. You can go speed, harps, blue, mid harps, or you could do a little bit more of a cheeky start. You could go speed, harps, red, and then try and gank duo. I really like this because you hit level 2, especially if you clear speed by yourself. So it allows you to either get pin, your second ability, along with the mink and the turtle. And remember, the turtle's also got a knockup, so that's a lot of CC already coming at you. That's a root and a knockup. So you can do early ganks. However, his ganks are most effective at level 5 and are definitely most effective when he gets boots. He doesn't do a lot of base damage, so like he doesn't have that whole Bakasura passive on his attacks on his basic attack buff where pretty much he gets extra physical power. No, he just gets extra damage. So it's not true damage, it's just flat damage. So the reason I'm saying level 5 is such a great just level to gank at is because you have your taunt, you have your knockup, you have your pin. If you're playing smart, you're upgrading your 3. So your 3 is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. You're already doing a lot of damage because you're going to be hitting your basic attacks. You're going to be having that attack speed, that Fatalis effect. You're going to be sticking to them. And if they get away, you can, let's say they have 1 health, you can root them. Or if they are going to die, and you know for certain that you have a kill, just pin them and ult them. And taunt them back to you. It's a really good thing. So, generally, Erlang Shen has a lot of pros. He has great 1v1 potential. He has great outplay potential with all the CC he has. Even if he's losing the fight, he can generally come back from a fight just based off the shield from the turtle, the heal he can get off his taunt, and just because he's really, really strong in a 1v1. He's really strong in boxing and stuff like that. I think he's really, really strong. So, another pro of his is that he just sticks to these squishies. So, like I said, that Fatalis effect, that root, that fucking taunt on his ult, he just sticks to people. Like, it's amazing. Another really, really good to me pro of his is that he doesn't need to build a bunch of attack speed. He also doesn't need to build Hasten Katana if you play him right. I know people do build Haste Katana on Erlang Shen. I don't really recommend it. I just feel like you're just taking up an item spot because you have your root, you have your taunt, you have your Fatalis effect on your 3 with the Mink. And also, your Mink does a lot of damage. So you're going to be already initiating with a lot of damage. Another one of his pros is that he can go both ways with his build. He can either build really, really just a lot of damage, you know, stuff like Kinsace, Executioner, Stone Cutting Sword, Masamune, or it could build, let's say, just Kinsace and maybe get like a Shogun Skasari, boots, and then go full tank, and he can still be just as effective. Now, the full damage build, I will admit, is pretty fucking nutty. Like, it's crazy how fast you melt everybody on the team. If they like are dumb enough to stay in a 1v1 with you, especially if it's a tank, it's pretty fucking nutty. That's another one of his pros. Is that he shreds. Like, he's a shredder. He's just like Bakasura. To me personally, he's just like Bakasura. He just shreds. And that's why I love him so much, because, you know, tanks are annoying. And once you get the tanks out of the way, you're going straight for that fucking backline, and you're just about to shred them. You're about to shred everybody. What are some of his weaknesses, though? Like, you know, Jared, what can't Erlang Shen do? Erlang Shen is one of, to me personally, one of the worst gods to play from behind just because of his already low base damage and scaling abilities. I mean, not low base damage, but just his low scaling. So, like, even if, like, I'm behind and I build damage, like, my ping isn't gonna half hit people. My mink isn't gonna half hit people. Like, if they even have, like, 2 levels ahead of you in the jungle, in mid, it's generally hard. But you can still be an asset to your team fight with all your CC and all, you know, your stuff like that. So it's really, really good still. Another one of his weaknesses is that he is very, very vulnerable to the whole thing I like to call use your one scape and just you're done. So I forgot what I called it. I called it one thing. It was a little rhyme, but if he uses his mink or his turtle to engage, that's it. That is your escape too. So you really have to think about what you want to do. This isn't like Bakasura, and you know his jump is pretty much his main escape. You know, his jump really isn't meant to engage. No, generally you want to engage with the turtle. You want to engage with the mink. You can engage with the ult or the ping, but that's not how I usually do it, especially in a 1v1. Now, in a team fight, I don't think you ever want to engage with the mink. I think you want to engage with the turtle or the taunt or the ping first. Like I said, that's all personal preference, though. Another one of his weaknesses is that he is in the solo lane. He's sucking right now. Like, the loss of death toll to him just completely destroyed him. Opposed to, like, Osiris and Bellona, it destroyed him. But this isn't really a solo guide, so moving on. Another weakness is that he can get, like, it's weird to say, like, when you're playing Erlang Shen, I tend to have a tunnel vision. Like, I tend to get really tunnel visions really easily because I feel like I can get a lot of kills, and you can. So, there's not really many weaknesses if you play him right. Like I said, you know, he can't, like, when he uses his 3, that's it. That's his, you know, escape. I guess only other thing that I would say, really, he is very item dependent, just like Bakasura. When you get boots, when you get Kinsace or Masamune or whatever you want to go with your first item, I mean, you'll see that huge damage spike. You really will. But that's the thing. That's also a very good thing, is that he can get that huge damage spike off of just one item and just go tank. Like I said, just Kinsace and Shogun Skasari maybe and just go tank. So it's really, really good. A normal Erlang Shen jungle build, you want to start Assassin's Blessing, Tier 1, I'd say Masamune, or Tier 1 Kinsace. You can go Iqbal. Iqbal is very good on him, I'll admit, right now. Or you can just go Tier 1 Boots if you want to just rush Boots. I would not recommend Ninja Tabby on him. You can build Ninja Tabby. It's not bad, but I think Warrior Tabby is just so much better because you already have your attack speed. Steroid. Like I said, personal preference, completely what you want. I don't really care what you want to build. It's all about you. So, and then you generally want to go into maybe your protections. Like, let's say you have a magical jungler. Go into Shogun's Kasari. It's a really good item on him. Or maybe you have, you know, a physical jungler. Mystical Male's really good on him. Nemean Lion's really good on him. Um, Pretty much most protection items, I'd say, except for like an item like Ankyle or Runic Shield, it's not very good on him. You can build it. It's just like I don't really see building items like that are meant for bruiser gods on him, like Hydrus, Jotuns. I really don't see a reason for Jotuns or Crusher. I mean, I guess you can go Titan's Bane or Brawlers. You can if you want to. I don't really see a reason for it. So pretty much a normal endgame build would look like boots, Kinsace, or stone cutting or Masamune, whatever you went. Then I'd say generally physical jungler, so I'd say probably Mystical Male or Nemean. Then Shoguns or Genjis or Pestilence. Then get one of the robes. It doesn't really matter what you get. I like Mantle of Discord or Spirit Robe. Um, that's just my personal opinion. And then sell your Assassin's Blessing, and then you could generally get something like Witchblade. Let's see what Toxic Blade is really good on him. Or you could just go another damage on him. You can go something like Executioner. You could, replace. You could go Masamune if you went a different start. It all depends on what you want. He's a really, really strong god to me in the jungle. I feel like a lot of people, when they see Erlang Shen jungle, they're just like, oh, this guy's gonna feed. I know, like, since Death Toll was taken out of the game, he has fallen off in terms of the soul lane. To me, personally, I don't think he's S tier. I don't even think he's S minus in the jungle. I'd say he's probably like A minus, A plus. No, A minus A, somewhere around that range. I wouldn't say he's like, oh, he's a game-changing pick. He can be a game-changing pick if you play him right, if you play him the way he's supposed to be played, which I'm going to talk about. So if you want to engage in a team fight, I would highly recommend either using your ult, your root, or using your 3 and getting to the back line. If you're going to use your ult or your root, make sure you're using it on a squishy. So like, let's say the jungler comes too far up. Let's say the mid comes too far up. Use those abilities. Lock that person down. That's the best way I can explain it. You can be a front line for your team in the jungle. So like, you can be that very front line and tanky god. But you generally do want to also be dealing a bit of damage. Kind of like how you play Robin jungle, just doing damage, but also being that really annoying frontline. He's really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. Erlang Shen's one of my favorite jungles, and he is also one of my favorite gods, which is why I did a video on him. I wouldn't really recommend going in with your Mink. You could easily get just completely messed over on that one. But if you're gonna go in, just make sure you're playing it smart. Make sure you're looking at that backline. You want to dive the backline. You want to be that bully to that backline. You don't want your backline to get bullied, so that's why you're gonna taunt. The tanks. You're gonna taunt the squishies to you. And then Turtle or Mink back there. Get to that backline. Make them back up. Make them get away from you. And which is generally what you'd want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Overall, I'd give him like an A minus or an A in jungle. I'd say with a few more buffs, maybe to some of his essential items, like maybe Iqbal, Kinsace, maybe Masamune. But I'd say all those items that I just named are generally in a very, very good spot right now. That's just my personal opinion. You can go something like Shifters. Stone of Gaia is also very, very good on him. Frostbound Hammer is okay. You can go Frostbound Hammer, and you can go Gladiator Shield. I'm not really gonna recommend it. That's gonna be your core build. I would say it'd be like a just in case item. So like, let's say they have a Mercury on their team and he's really, really fast. Lock him down with that Frostbound. Or like, let's say they have like a really, really mobile Mage, like Agni or Thoth, lock them down with that Frostbound. The only reason I'd go the Gladiator Shield is because they, it's like, let's say they have a really strong early game comp. You can get your heal off the Gladiator Shield, and you get a little bit of protections. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the end of the video. If you like the video, do leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for all the views on the Anubis Jackal Tech video. That was amazing. It made me so happy, and like I just thought it was crazy. I appreciate it so much. If you guys want any suggestions or have any suggestions for the next jungle guide, do leave them down in the comments. I read the comments. I read all the stuff you guys, well, pretty much some of you guys put. I appreciate all the love and all the support in the last video, and I hope this one gets just as much love and support, if not just as much as the Boxer one. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a lovely day. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed.